everyone, and have a happy Thursday. Welcome to the Midnight Ride with Grayman Prepping. And how's everybody doing out there? Yes, it is going to be oops, wrong button. Almost at the end. I was trying to get to the comments there, and it's right beneath that. I don't know why they put the buttons like that so close. So let's take a look here, and I got to get something staged. That's the one I need up. Okay, so first one in was Suzanne Gallet, followed by Rebel Canners. Pantry Only Recipes came in third. Phelan Klein Wolf was fourth. Walt Rogers was fifth. Chef Tech Set was sixth, but he said he was 34th. Doesn't know how to count. Next was Mother Earth Garden Club. Then Jay. Hello Tofu came in. Galen Strain. Utah Mike. Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man's here. Diana 2's here. Tibor is here. And okay, we're caught up. So, several comments in there, updates. Well, a half an hour ago, the number here, let me bring it up here, for this area was 80 quakes, and all these quakes, with the exception of one, was this month. The vast majority of them were today. The next highest number was yesterday. So if it's red, it's within the last hour. If it's orange, it's today. If it's yellow, this week. The ones over here in Nevada were yesterday. A lot of these up here in yellow up here were yesterday. And the one here in the San Francisco Bay Area there was yesterday. The one down here below it was on the 1st. So, and this, I have in all the years I've been tracking this, and that's 15 years. This is the most active, this zone right here, where you got the San Andreas, the Cascadia Fault. I forget what this side shuffle one here is. This is the worst it's been ever. So yeah, this big orange one here is the 7.0. What behind it was later this afternoon was a 5.8. The vast majorities of these you see here are 4-pointers, and then it gets a little smaller 3-pointers, and then some of these other ones, you know, the little small ones farther out here are in the 2 range. So that's what's been going on today. All right, let's switch back here, and let me get rid of that. Yeah, so it's still rocking and rolling, and hang on here. Let me take a look, see again. Uh-oh. Okay, that's something I'm not going to worry about. Okay, I just had some more emails pop up. Nothing pressing, just some weird stuff going on. Okay, so tonight's news, starting back on the 29th, was alert. Cucumbers sold in California recalled for salmonella. Gee, if they'd start providing porta potties for the laborers out in the fields, they would stop crapping on the next to the plants and stop developing salmonella and E. coli out there. And Grammy Karen's in the house. All right, let's see. Next one up here, also from the 29th, was record snow for California so far. They haven't had this much snow, I think they said, in the last 15 years. So, yeah, there's going to be some of the ski resorts that are going to be opening this week. We're supposed to open this weekend. They were talking about it. So, all right, next one. Oh, home prices fall as California market rebalances. That's the headline. And they hit some of the more extreme markets that are rebounding: San Jose, Silicon Valley, San Francisco. You know, where these are the locations where you buy a 800 square foot house for $1 million or more. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So the next one coming up here is battle over trans student athletic roles in California high school sports. There should be no battle over it. If your birth certificate says male, you're in the male sports. If it says female, you're in the female sports. Unless they're going to do co-ed sports, that's the way it should be, period. Here in Idaho, that's the way it is. You can't even say, my pronouns are, you'll get expelled. All right. Let's see here. Next one here is for December 2nd. So coming off the weekend, they had a bunch of them all crammed together on one. First one is home prices drop. Yeah. Bankruptcies are spiking in California. I wonder why. Could it be that the budget screwing around of the great nuisance and his demon rat horde screwing the people over that actually work and trying to give all the money to those that are here illegally? This one I haven't gone into to read on it. Let me go into it. This is from Epic Times. I'm not sure if it's going to allow me in here. Headline: South Korea president declares martial law in late night TV address, and this was on the 3rd. Let's see if it'll let me in there, or let's say I've used up all my time this month. I'm in for a little bit. Let's see how long it stays. Parliament earlier voted to lift the order. The president instituted martial law late Tuesday, saying it was necessary to eradicate anti-state, in parentheses, anti-state forces. I didn't know there were anti-state forces in Korea. I thought they were killing them all. What we know so far: South Korea says he will lift martial law decree instituted about 6 hours earlier in a state line now. The country's parliament voted to lift it hours after the declaration. And so now he's lifted it. This has been updated. So now he's lifted it, and they're just being, he's just being his same old stupid paranoid self. So, all right. Next one I'm going to look at here. Okay, come on, ads. There it goes. Try to get rid of those ads. They're not going away. So we got the great nuisance. I signed laws. Okay, so 5 ridiculous laws. Some are ridiculous, some are. Okay. One of the law extends the time in which the property tenant has to respond to an eviction notice from 5 days to 10 days. Hey, if they're being evicted, they haven't paid their rent in 60 days. No, they shouldn't be given time to respond. Oh, let's see here. I'm just catching up on the chat. Anything worth doing on the chat here? All right. See. So yeah. So yeah. If they're having eviction notice posted on them, it's probably because they haven't paid their rent in at least 60 days because they got to go through all these steps to do it. No, they don't have. Should have 5 days to respond. Oh, I got the check, or they're out. Uh, Medical debt is excluded from credit reports. Okay, yeah, but and this is for people who don't have health insurance. Wait a minute, we got Obamacare. Everybody has health insurance, so why do they even need this? Because there's not supposed to anybody that doesn't have insurance. Oh, passed by 2 Democrats. Okay. Legacy and donor admissions outlawed at California universities. Basically, if your father had a letter, or the sports letter, or was something or other at that university, that added to your points to get into the university. If your family was a donor, that added points for you to get into the university. But if you say, I'm a he, I am a them, they, oh, so you get more points for saying you're, yeah. But they're not gonna ban that crap. They should ban all of it. They should go away from the DEI and go to, I can't remember what it's called. Basically, it's value based points where, oh, you had high scores in high school. Okay, you got high scores going into college. Oh, you're a minority, don't count. We want to see what your education is and how smart you are to allow you to get into college. That's what they need to keep it as. Let's see what we got here. Beginning July 1st, consumers in California, I like this, will be able to get out of paid subscriptions a lot easier before. Yeah, right. But they're saying the companies have to have on their website a click to unsubscribe. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one there. California insurance companies must cover fertility treatments. I'm not sure about that one, folks. Yeah, didn't earn it. DEI didn't earn it. Yeah, but I am. Okay, there I go. All right, I'm frozen. Okay, but I'm betting on this fertility covering thing. If you're a white married couple, heterosexual couple, you're gonna have a whole bunch more extra loops for you jump through if you're not quote minority, which whites are becoming the minority in California, and yeah, or if you're an illegal alien, you can automatically jump to the head of the line and get all your insurance covered treatments, paid for by people who actually work for a living. Okay. Okay. The next one from yesterday, they expanded the salmonella cucumber recall. And the warning. Oh, now you're going to talk about that warning going with it. That'll get me dinged. Do not use it as a toy. Okay. Bird flu tainted milk recall expands. Interesting on this, as far as I've been able to find, that none of the cows at any of these dairies that have bird flu in the milk have tested positive for bird flu. None of the cows have. So if none of the cows have bird flu, how's it getting in the milk? Now, this is my personal thing, is that some of these crooked inspectors that are on the take to the pharmaceutical companies are tampering with the samples. So that's my thing on the bird flu in the milk. When none of the cows are sick, none of the cows have bird flu in any of their tests. This one is scary. Let me get in here real quick here on it, a little bit on it here. So the headline is, quote, "Nobody is safe," unquote, colon, "Track your risk of cancer-causing formaldehyde in California." And it says these California zip codes have the highest risk of developing cancer due to formaldehyde exposure, according to ProPublica. And never heard of ProPublica before. If you go to their things, it's make you search for it. But let's see here. Froze. It does list some other states down here. Rex, Georgia, Nampa, Idaho, over by Boise, Greer, South Carolina, Shreveport, Louisiana, Northport, Alabama, Santa Cruz, California, Kessler Air Force Base, Mississippi, Boulder Creek, California. I've been to Boulder Creek. There ain't nothing there but, a few mobile homes out there. Wait, those must have been some of those old FEMA cheapy mobile homes. I'm going to put a link in here in the chat. Hey, Ryan's here, Ryan the Gamer. All right, so that takes you to this page, and you can click on your state to find out where you can get the blocks of high risk formaldehyde is in your state. And Sumi's here. Exactly. Who's milking a bird? All right. All right, let me go back here. Let me see if there's anything else on it specifically. Felton, which is down by Felton is where the Big Trees Railroad is down. It goes down to Santa Cruz. That's up by Boulder Creek. San Diego's on it for California. Ben Lomond, also up there by Boulder Creek and Felton. Mount Hermon, up by Boulder Creek and Fulton. There must have been a factory up there at one time, and it tainted all the water. Los Gatos, Huntington Beach, Southern California. Roseville, up near San Francisco. Sacramentos, Chico, Torrance, Southern California. So, yeah. So, yeah. And what they're saying on this here is that the formaldehyde says formaldehyde can also form in the atmosphere when other chemicals are exposed to sunlight, depending on the geography and the climate of the specific neighborhood. EPA is expected to create rules that could restrict the use of formaldehyde yet this month. But ProPublica said the agency ignored its own scientists' conclusions about the likelihood of chemical causing potential fatal blood cancer, leukemia. Yeah, that's because the ones that the higher ups in the EPA have their hand out behind them, getting money from the chemical companies. Hey, Tammy Harder's in the house now. All right, let's get back over here to the thing. All right, and the last one here is, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Here's the headline: California's solar surplus is driving up your electrical bill. There's no solar surplus in California. What there is, there's certain hot spots where they've required everybody to put solar on their house, any new housing stuff. So they're producing an excess in that one little spot there, but they don't have the infrastructure to move that power out of it to the normal grid. The grid is a one-way into that area only. Duh. And so let me get in here a little deeper on this one. And here they're trying to beat their chest for this one. California, the Golden State, is a powerhouse for energy production, especially solar. But what happens when the state produces more than the grid can handle? More than the grid can handle. That's because they haven't been approving the grid for everything to transmit it. The Los Angeles Times found the overproduction isn't saving California consumers a dime. Instead, other states are cashing in on the surplus of energy and paying less for it. So the excess energy that is hooked up, that is from areas that can hook to the outside grid coming out of the state and ship the power out of the state, these other states are buying it cheaper than California residents are. And it goes into all the bullpucky on it that because they've been pushing so much for solar panels on homes where new construction is going in, that they can't get it to all the old existing stuff, mainly cities like San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, LA, to the areas where they need it, because they're not upgrading those transmission lines to handle multiple directional transmission of power. Yep. In places like California, where they're trying to ban battery storage and they want you to send all your excess power to the grid, but then they're going to charge you when you pull back from it, and some places aren't even allow you to sell your power to the grid. They're just taking it for free. Anywho. Okay, let me go back over here. And that takes care of the stupidity in the news from California. Let me change something up here. There we go. We're talking California. It's Looney Tunes. Oh, no, that's the state legislature. Oh. Yeah, so let me go ahead and drop this in here now that I got through that crap. It took 3 years of court to be allowed to power his home with solar. Yeah, they're fighting that big time in California, saying, "Oh no, there's power lines out there. You got to be hooked to the grid, and you can't be free. You can't be freestanding." No. Hey, Prepper 101. Like I was talking about a little back here. All right, so you have maybe it was on Camp Patton on Friday night on the homestead. if you have solar panels and they're trying to say, oh, you got to have this, you got to be connected to the grid, you just get the transfer switches and you set it up so most your draw is drawing on solar only and your batteries, and it can't backfeed to the power, and you only have something like your porch lights and maybe one TV on the grid. So they see your meter still going around very slowly. It's like, hey, we're using oil lamps for lights.
Yeah, we talked about this the other night.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's just hey, Lewis, getting an echo there, Lewis. So it's one of those things that's just yeah.
No, that's those commercials. Like, get free solar in your state today. You can get free solar on your roof and blah, blah, blah. And then you talk to the guys at like Sam's Club that are doing the free solar in your state. Just ask them, say, so the solar panels, you put them on my roof and you hook it up to a battery bank, and then any excess I don't use goes back to the grid. And they sit there and go, well, no, you can't really hook it up to a battery bank, but you can charge batteries off your regular outlets. And you say, okay, so is there a secondary meter on my house or something? Where does the power, does it go into my house first or does it go to the grid first? Well, and then they'll hem and haw all day long until you push their buttons enough. And eventually they're like, go away. We want to give away our free solar so we can rent your roof for free, give you a discount on whatever maybe goes to the grid, and then charge you for the electricity anyway. It's crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not their contract.
They're not responsible
for any damage to your roof for their subcontractors damaging your roof, putting stuff up.
Right. Any problems with your roof? Oh, now you have to pay to have them move the solar panels to fix your roof and put them back on again. Oh yeah, it's a scam. It's been a scam. I told you, a couple of my neighbors found out it's a scam. Like, did your power bill go down? No. Maybe like $1. They give you like these remedial little credits here and there, make it look good. We gave you $18 here and $2 here and $1 here. It's like, great, my power bill was still $197 this month. You didn't do anything for me. You're renting my roof for free.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is if smart people say, no, it's not going to be on the roof. It's got to be freestanding panels out there on a pole that can track the sun. And then they'll go, no, we don't do that. And that's the thing is, like, if you have like 8 panels or 12 panels out there on a pole and track the sun, that will produce 4 times as much sun as a rigid, 4 times as much power as one just sitting there. So
yeah, on the slope of your roof that may not be facing directly due south and not change its angle depending on time of year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody, I gotta find. I'm sure somebody's called these people up and like recorded the conversation just to push their buttons. Maybe I should do that. That would be cool.
and then make a video about it. This is what happened. Okay, another thing came in. I guess there was a California shooting at a school, and but anyway, the headline is California school shooter wanted child execution in response to Gaza.
To what?
Well, I got the perfect thing for that shooter to do.
You went Roboto, according to what? Gaza? What?
Yeah, what? In response to Gaza. I got the perfect thing to deal with that shooter. It's called a pig farm and a cherry picker. You pick them up and you lower them down slowly into the hogs.
I just don't want to eat that bacon. Well, they do have wild hogs down in Texas. So you ever see
Oklahoma
those
too?
And you ever see those cages they drop on them after they bait them in there for like a week, and then they drop the cage? Throw them in there. See what happens.
Yeah, so Moon says his son in LA has solar panels and he gets an 800 credit on his electric bill, but he uses that for his electric car.
Okay. Hey, how come, the Ford Pinto had 78 deaths because of explosions, and it's all over the news, and we still talk about it, after 1972, we're still talking about it. But there's been over 700 deaths in Teslas. Nah, we don't talk about that.
There was one where there were 4 high school graduates that were just starting college. I don't know why. I know why. They took out student loans and bought a Tesla.
Their daddy gave one of the kids a Tesla to take to school with them because it's electric.
And it got in an accident and wedged, and none of the windows would roll down. It couldn't open the doors because none of the windows would roll down. And it was very hard for them to break the glass out to get the one kid out, and the others were already dead. Okay, so
we don't
Jay,
talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I haven't heard about that.
You didn't hear about that? God, it's been all over the news.
I've had grandkids all day.
Okay. No, it was yesterday.
Yesterday. Well, I had grandkids all day yesterday too.
Some guy stalked out the United Healthcare CEO who had just sold, and they don't talk about that, just sold like 95% of his stock and was probably going to leave, was on his way to supposedly not an interview, but a court hearing to talk about something. But some guy wearing a mask, black hoodie, whatever, came out with a suppressor and shot him in the back twice and couldn't load his gun right and all this other stuff. There's all kinds of speculation in a million different directions. He's dead. Yeah. And they can't find the shooter. And he hopped on an e-bike, which you have to pay with a credit card to get an e-bike, and
unless
got
it was
away.
His own.
No, well, whatever. And he got away. Well, some guy said he tracked the e-bike, but
if it was one of the ones he swiped to get on it, he's probably using a stolen credit card.
Yeah, or a gift card or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go to grocery stores and you just get a Visa or MasterCard prepaid credit card.
Yep.
And pay cash for it. There's
no record, no trail.
Yeah. Oh, he was heading to an investors meeting, Mother says.
That's it. Yeah. I wonder if the shooter had been on the 3-letter agency's radar for some months. Probably.
Or payroll.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
I'm sorry. I'm stirring the pot tonight. Yeah.
Stirring the pot. You used to work for the government. I'm kind of nervous when I say stuff like that because you're like, well,
Hey, before I got a bunch of those wing nuts fired before I left. Yeah, I got a bunch fired before I left. Yeah. Yeah, when I retired, 2 years before I retired, 2 years after, a whole bunch of right-wing Homeland Security agents retired. Some of them came over. They had all their military beforehand, so they had all that military going in for their full retirement for Homeland Security as well. And they just said, screw it, I got enough of my retirement and all my stuff. I'm out of here. Need some water. Oh, okay. Jay says ejected live rounds and casings had messages on them.
Yeah, that was the other thing. He couldn't because the suppressor, apparently the guy didn't pre-test fire it. The suppressor slowed down the charge so it didn't eject properly. He had a lot of FTEs, and he had to hand load it, and complete rounds were falling on the ground, and he got 2 or 3 shots off, or I think 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And but he had to double load because it didn't cock the pin, so he had to do it again. And there's a bunch of, well, there's only one video that from some, it looks like it was shot out of a baked potato, but welcome to the 2024 where we're still using cameras from the 30s.
Okay. That just reminds, I just saw a video about it's not a suppressor, it's a compensator. Because there's no baffles in it. It's just a hollow tube with holes on it to act like a muzzle brake. So there's no tack stamp on it. And the guy was running tests and stuff for 22s, works great. 177 works great. 223, it starts getting a little louder. And the bigger the caliber, then the more noise it makes. But he did go, when someone asked the question, did you try using subsonic ammunition?
Huh.
No, I didn't, for his test on it. So I would bet that some of these compensators, which do not require a tack stamp, if you use subsonic ammunition, they're going to be really quiet, and it doesn't affect the action of the.
This was a 9mm, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they have them for 9mm, 40 caliber, 45, 50 caliber even. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that's one of the things I'm looking into getting here, because it doesn't require a tax stamp, and there's no records on it because we don't have to keep records on it because it's not required. And so they're selling the compensators without records. So I'm thinking about getting some for my 22s.
But if you modify it, you're in deep doo-doo.
You don't need to. Oh no, you can modify it so long as you don't put baffles in it. Once you put baffles in it, then it becomes a suppressor.
I like the oil filter adapters. They're pretty cool.
But because it's got the oil, it's got the filter part in it, that's considered a baffle, and that makes it illegal.
No, it's an oil. It's a
solvent trap.
Yeah,
but the four-letter agency, everybody calls it by three letters, made their own rules and regulations without it getting approved by Congress, saying, well, you got this, you're really making a suppressor.
Yeah, and Napa has an inline fuel filter with I forget the thread size. I'll just pick one, 5/8 by 16 thread on it. It's a tube, and everybody's like, oh, you can take this, take it apart, and you can. And if you go to Napa, out of stock. And you know damn well, if you try to special order one, you'll have the feds at your house in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, unless you have a tractor or something, it goes right here.
Yep. Good luck with that. Let me know how it turns out.
But the interesting thing is, if you get that thread thing for the solvent trap, and they come knocking, it's like, you notice what's on the end of this? It's a water separator. It has all the valves on. I can't shoot through that. It's got all the big, the drains and stuff on the bottom of the filter as a separator, and it's like, no, it's a solvent trap. It separates the stuff.
So I still haven't found anybody using a solvent trap to clean their weapon. But anyway,
I've seen a guy doing it. The guy made the video on it, and he actually had the one with the separator filter on it that had the thread that had the petcock valve on the bottom of it, so you couldn't use it as a suppressor. Anyways, there's exactly. But trap particles from escaping. Actually, what the baffle does, it's not trapping particles. It's trapping the sound waves and stuff. And basically, it's baffling the sound for it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that sounds good.
But no, that's what the suppressor's for. But the problem is, because it also traps particles and unburned and burned propellant, it's going to clog up. Now, I've seen some of the ones they're advertising that you can get a tax stamp for, that you can unscrew the ends, take it apart, and dip it and solve it, clean it, and put it back together. And of course, you have your tax stamp on it, so you know. But yeah, yeah. That's one agency that's gone rogue, and Congress isn't reining them in.
Well, hopefully that'll change.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see it become have them take firearms and explosives away from them totally, and give them marijuana. So now you're alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana, or tobacco, alcohol, and marijuana, TAM, or marijuana, Matt. Alcohol, and tobacco. Matt, that's the new agency, Matt.
That's it.
You got that right. And that's his deputy, Nick. What's Nick's last name? The fat electrician. Yeah. Did Brandon win his Senate race or not? I didn't see anything on it.
What state?
Texas.
Maybe. If it was Arizona, I'd say he probably won it in the beginning, but they're still counting, so he'll fail.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see Brandon Herrera on the Unsubscribed podcast. That's the name of it, Unsubscribed podcast, here on YouTube. And he has Nick, the fat electrician, in there, and some of the other guys in there, and then they have guests in there as well. Absolutely, totally funny listening to these military guys. Well, 3 military guys and 1 former ATF who resigned. Yeah, he goes, that was the worst agency to work for. Totally stupid with the attitude of some of them that are in higher up in there. Oh. He didn't win the primary. And how could an anti-2A person get reelected in Texas? God, you know, they need to do a check on how many dead people voted.
Yeah, they count the votes in Austin. That's why. The only blue city in the whole state.
Yeah. Sounds like someone needs to put an orbital Gauss rifle up in orbit and start launching refrigerators at that city, as well as San Francisco, New York, Portland, Seattle,
and the whole state of California. Well, not the
whole state. Certain coastal states. Once you get inside the city, once you go farther east, the cities start turning red. But unfortunately, they're small cities. Okay, Kaylin. So, was that were the incumbents blue or red?
Probably blue. They can't afford to lose too many Senate seats because of the rhinos. So, was it 54 to 46 is great, but when there's only a 3-point difference, forget it. The Democrats win every time.
Yeah. Oh, they were red. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, there's a lot of stupidity going on out there. Yeah, I went to I was checking on getting a concealed weapons permit here, and then the course description they were saying must be a acceptable weapon for concealed carry. And I'm gonna head back up there and say, what do you consider an acceptable weapon? Well, we prefer semi-automatics. Probably what they're gonna say is because in the word you say they don't even like you carry this place that was doing it doesn't like you even wanting to carry a revolver. My thing is, what about a single action revolver? They'll probably have an aneurysm. It's like, hey,
what's that?
and they said you had to have a certain number of magazines with you for it because you had to spend some time on the range. And it's like, wait a minute.
Bring extra cylinders. You're right.
Why? And they said, or if you're using revolvers, you got to have 4 speed loaders. And it's like, why? You're not going into battle. If you're concealed carry, you should have a revolver, not a semi-automatic, and because it shoots better with like an 8-inch barrel on it or a 10-inch barrel. That way you, got the guy in the head, 1 shot, it's over. I don't need to fire a bunch of shots. Now I'm thinking more along the lines of the Mark 19 or its replacement. Was it Mark 43 or Mark 49? 40 millimeter grenade launcher. Boom, 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 boom. 300 rounds a minute.
You can fit that in your pocket. You can fit that in your pocket.
Yeah.
Hide it under your jacket.
Or you have it strapped on your back and it's under your hoodie.
Yeah. I'm a size 4000X hoodie. It fits. It's concealed.
I want my electric cart with it concealed in the box under the seat.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna carry like Wyatt or, hey, if I could get it for my single actions, I'd carry single action preferred because I am spot on with my single actions. Fits in your pocket if it's a bearskin hoodie. Good one, Kaylin. Good one. Oh.
Which pocket?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. So let me fire it off here now. So coming up here tomorrow night on Camp Patton Family Compound, Friday night in the homestead is knitting and quilting for warmth. And a side hustle, folks. My wife told me that she'd sold some of the quilts she made money on it. Saturday here on Grayman Prepping is have a side hustle to support your family. Whatever it takes to earn a little extra money. Plant more fruit trees.
Money, trade, barter, something.
Yeah. Monday is storing and reheating containers. So we're moving away from plastic. We'll talk about the good glass stuff or the steel stuff you can store food in. Stainless steel you can store your food in. Next Tactical Tuesday Are notebooks a threat?
Are what?
Notebooks,
notebooks.
3-ring
binders. Oh, yeah, they're a threat.
3-ring binders, notebooks.
Yeah, because you can write stuff down and then burn it. Yeah, and nobody can hack it if you eat it.
Yeah. What are you doing? I'm an art student. I'm drawing the architect here. All I can say is when I went through the police academy, first, second, third, fourth were revolvers. Fifth was a semi with a long barrel on it, and the next couple were revolvers as well. And the first three were all 8 3/8 inch barrels on Smith & Wesson Model 28 Highway Patrolman 357s, shooting 38s. So that's what wad cutters come in. So
that's the most powerful handgun in the world.
Oh, you mean the 4570 with the 14-inch barrel?
I'm just quoting Clint Eastwood.
I know, but yeah, but the new one is like a 4570 with the 14-inch barrel on it. Has it puts out more than the 500 Smith & Wesson, and yeah, absolutely freaking insane. Of course, before you draw, you got to make sure you have your wrist brace on, your elbow brace, and your shoulder brace on both hands.
I'm kind of partial to the Magnum Research BFR 3030 revolver pistol.
Yeah.
That thing shoots flames out when you shoot a bow and a half. It's frightening.
Was it a revolver? Tibor, was it a revolver or semi-auto?
50 yards with a 22 pistol. Okay.
Hey, if they're 50 yards away, you don't need to be shooting at them. You need to be looking for, okay, what's the quickest way out of here? Yep. And I'll let those who get paid for it handle it. Semi, okay.
If they handed me a 22 Ruger and said, "We want to see how you do at 50 yards," I would just I would hand them back to Ruger and say, "Why?" I'm not hunting deer or elk here with a 22 revolver.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you want me to shoot with a 22 revolver? Give me the revolver that has the 16-inch barrel with this
with an arm brace,
1 and 16 twist on it, and give me the medium ammunition for it, because then that'll fly flat. What I'd like to do is take in my I can't show it here because it would cause problems, but my Thompson Contender with the 30-30 barrel on it with the scope on it.
There you go.
Thing is, I have a shoulder holster that fits in. When I got it, I got a leather shoulder holster that it fits in. Yeah, when I went to the academy, the farthest target was 20 yards. And the reason why the revolvers won, because they had long barrels.
And they're probably making you do 50 yards with a 22 just to see if you'll actually try. I'd be like, what are you doing? Why do I need to show you if I can shoot a 22 at 50 yards out of a revolver, pistol, or whatever, or a semi? Yeah. Why would I? That's probably the right answer is no.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay, it wasn't a revolver, it was a semi-auto, which probably means it has the little 3.5 inch, maybe 4 inch barrel on it. No, I don't own anything that has less than a 6 inch barrel. Because when I shoot, I want to make sure I can hit the head of the person I'm shooting at.
You know you're supposed to go for center of mass, right?
Oh, screw that. Too many people have body armor. They got mad at me. They got mad at me at the academy when I pulled up the sheriff's departments, because when I was in the academy, I got on as a reserve and I pulled up the stuff, the number of people per year that they arrest that have body armor. I go, you're getting the numbers are going up. No, I ain't shooting for center mass. I'm shooting for right between the eyes or in one of the eyes and that bounce around in the head. Because then I only have to shoot one shot. Yeah. What does GHE exercise mean?
What?
Tibor's put on, you missed the point of the GHE exercise.
Probably more of a mental exercise.
Yeah. Hang on here. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Okay, the number of earthquakes there is now up to 106.
And or aftershocks.
Huh? Yeah, there are a bunch of aftershocks. There were a bunch of pre-shocks on this one up there. Over here for a second.
Well, they had a tsunami warning go out instantly, but it never came to anything. So,
yeah, because 7.0 up there. It's like the only place that would have affected would have been Crescent City, and it was the wrong type of a quake. It wasn't a subduction zone quake, which causes the tsunami. It was a sliding quake.
Yeah. Oh, T-Bird just corrected himself. It wasn't GHE, it was THE, like the.
Oh.
Damn, T is right above the G on the keyboard. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, but still 50 yards for a 22. 20 yards is more like it.
But even then, it better be a closing 20 yards. Like at 20 yards, then coming at you quick. Then, yeah. Okay.
And you can't have nowhere to retreat to.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, 103. Just got another red dot just pulled up here. And that was a 3.8. Yeah, that whole those three fault lines up there are really doing shit tonight.
Hey, what's with the mustache? You bringing it back?
Yeah.
Then you froze.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back. All right, I'm going to call it a night. Oh, by the way, first. Point of information. The Midnight Ride was never referred to as the Midnight Ride of Paul.
You froze.
Until a certain poet wrote the poem. Because the Midnight Ride started between 9 and 10 o'clock.
Well, maybe it took them 3 hours to finish the ride, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, 3 of them got, including Paul Revere, got stopped by a British checkpoint. One guy made his ride the whole way. From the checkpoint, at one point, the one guy broke free and jumped over the thing and rode off. And when he got away, he fell off his horse after he got away and didn't finish his ride. But yeah, if you want to read up on it, just they had a condensed version of the events on Wikipedia. All right, everyone, take care. See you around, and yeah, work on your indoor garden because we got 26 days before we start the indoor garden challenge.
Sweet.
Okay, hey, what did he say? What do you say that? Oh yeah, the old man said, "Get off my lawn." Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Yes, really. I mean, check it out. Get off my lawn. All righty. See y'all later.
Have a good night.